Hello Air Canada, my name is James. I live in Dartmouth in Nova Scotia. It's a beautiful autumn day and I'm just in here relaxing with, this is Tucker, my little dog. And I'm still waiting to resolve an issue with you that happened a week ago today. I've tried calling you, I've tried contacting you through Twitter, I've even got in direct response with your refund department, and I don't seem to be getting a resolution from you. So in this digital age, I figured that doing some kind of a video and making sure you could see it through Facebook is probably the best way of getting hold of you, and if that doesn't work, well, maybe nothing will. Let me quickly recap on the situation that's left me over $1,200 out of pocket. A week ago today, I was on the last day of my honeymoon at Orlando International Airport, and I was checking in for my return flight at an electronic airport kiosk. At the time, we found out that 2 executive upgrades were available for me and my wife at the total cost of about $1,200. So we accepted and put my credit card into the machine to get those upgrades. It then told me it was processing the credit card, and it spat it back out saying the upgrades were no longer available, which of course is cool. Later on, I found out that I had actually been charged for those upgrades that I didn't receive, so doing what any normal person would do, I called your customer service line, where I was told that the agent couldn't help and that I would need to go onto the website and fill in a refund request form, which I promptly did. This was 2 days after we flew. I received a response later that day saying that the refund request form had been received, however the department who'd received it were unable to help me. So there was a link in an email they were directing me to saying instead, please go here and fill this form in, which lo and behold was the form I'd originally filled in to have this response from this office. By this point I didn't really know where to turn, decided to contact you through Twitter. So I contacted your whoever they are, these mystical people who exist on Twitter, and had a few conversations with them, at which point I sent them my ticket numbers and explained the issue. I was then told that the customer service team would respond. Didn't get a response from the customer service team or through Twitter, so I decided at this point, and I'm completely honest here, I see this as a fraudulent charge. Call my bank, TD Canada Trust, ask them to see if they can reverse the payment. They then get in direct touch via telephone, which I was quite impressed with your refund office. I was then told by TD that the refund office would call me with an answer either later that day, and this was now Friday, or the next day, or Monday morning. At which point I do receive a phone call. I'm actually out walking this little guy at the time, so I didn't get to my phone. Very interesting message from the refund office, basically telling me that they would not be corresponding with me on this issue, or the phrase they used is, we will not be interacting with you on this issue, that we'll wait for the customer service team to respond. It's now a week after I've flown. I've had no response from the customer service team. Your Twitter team are telling me they're still waiting for a response. Your refund office have told me they won't be responding to me. Your customer service agents have told me they can't help. And every web form that you seem to redirect me to seems to get nowhere. And the message here is simple. I'm $1,200 out. It's almost maxed out my credit card. It's costing me money in interest on my credit card. And to be honest, it's not a small sum of money. Now, I paid $29 to check every bag in with you. I paid $3 for some headsets on your plane, which to be honest didn't work and we had to get a replacement. I paid $9 for a sandwich and $4, $5, $6, whatever it is, for a drink with you guys. Flying is not cheap. Flying with Air Canada is not cheap. I'm a firm believer Air Canada has somewhat of a monopoly on the Canadian flight market, particularly out here in places like Nova Scotia. To fly back home to the UK to see my family cost me 3 times as much as any US airline, but because you guys have a monopoly on that route, I'm pretty much forced to pay it. While I accept and choose to pay the charges that I pay to fly with you, I don't consent, and I certainly don't take lightly the fact that you now have $1,200 of my money that it seems to be impossible to get refunded. It's really starting to piss me off, if I'm honest with you. So my message is simple. Find that refund button and click it. It can't be that tough. I run a small business myself. I run a media relations and PR firm, and I know how easy it is to process a refund. Now, your Twitter team have been telling me that they are investigating the issue. Let's get this simple here. There's nothing to investigate. The only thing you need to investigate is your own incorrect charging policies. While you're at that, you can also see if you can bring your flight prices down a little bit and stop charging us for every ridiculous thing you try to give us on board. So it's a week later, $1,200 out. It's costing me money. It's causing me a lot of concern. While it doesn't seem to be affecting this guy too much, I'm certainly the one who's stressed out and not happy. I await your response. I expect to have that money back in my account very soon, and you can be sure I'll keep putting updates on the situation on Facebook, and I'll certainly be letting everyone else know how it goes. Okay, Air Canada, the ball is in your court.